if my sideburns irritate you or like annoy you, like imagine how I feel, okay? Some of us had mental breakdowns and shaved our eyebrows and our sideburns off. I hate myself. Hey guys, what's up? My name's Alicia, and today we're gonna be doing another face mask talk type deal. So before I get into the actual topic of this video, which is going to be grieving toxic relationships and situations, you know, I found out what the word toxic meant and I haven't stopped using it. All of these videos are not going to be about like negative things, but this is just like starting off the kind of like series. I want to start this series called I don't know who needs to hear this, but so I basically want to put messages out to the universe, things that I feel like talking about, or something that's like constantly like, kind of nagging at me, because I feel like maybe someone needs to hear it. But yeah, you see the sideburns now. Yeah, I know they're annoying. They bother me too. Thanks. Okay, so talking about toxic. Okay, so what inspired, or I guess what nagged me to like talk about this topic today. I saw this post about how like, oh my god, it was on Facebook and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something along the lines of like, it's all right to grieve toxic relationships, like nobody understands that. And I was like, wow, like that's pretty relatable. And I feel like people think that when you leave a toxic relationship, friendship, situation, whatever it is, that you're like automatically happy and it's like, but it's not like that. Like, I don't think it's that simple. Kind of damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because say you're a girl and you're in a toxic relationship and you leave that toxic relationship, right? Or you move on, whatever. You're like, oh my god, you moved on too soon. But it's like, you don't know what someone, like what kind of situation they were in, you know?
Hello there.
I don't even know what my main point is. Like, basically just stop freaking judging people. But I think it's completely okay to grieve about toxic situations, because there are good moments and you remember the good moments and you're like, oh my god. But it's like, no, honey, like, no, no, that's not it for you. But I think it's all right to get a little sad, because that's an end of a chapter for you. In a sense, like you were, I don't know. When I got out of my toxic relationship earlier this year, I remember like kind of like breaking down, and I was just like, why am I breaking down? Like, I should be happy, like I'm leaving, like whatever. But like it wasn't. It was really like sad to me, because it was like I was losing a friend. Like I was so like, oh my god, like this is a big deal, because it was such a big part of my life, or it felt like at the time such a big part of my life. And it's kind of like all over now. Like I'm good, I'm whatever. I forgot who I was before the situation happened. Like I was like, oh my god, I was so scared. I was like, now what do I do? Like what the heck? And when I was in the toxic relationship, like I didn't really talk to anybody about it. I was kind of just like trapped, and I did it to myself, to be fair, but I was like, oh my god. And I just like called up my mom and I just cried to her, and it felt good because she didn't know what was going on, you know? I was able to be like, hey, like this is what happened, like I'm sad about it. And it was so nice to like not be judged about it, because I feel like if I, you know, would have, I feel like now like that my friends know like the whole situation, I can't like, I'm not allowed to be sad about it anymore. Or at the time I wasn't allowed to be sad about it once my friends knew, because it was like, well, he was bad for you, like why are you sad? Like you're the one that ended, like you didn't like that relationship, like why are you sad? But it was like, it still like affected me, and I was still going through it. And at the same time, yes, it was a toxic relationship, but I'm still going through a breakup. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still rough, like it is still heavy. Like I don't know, it really did shock me too when I left, because I expected to be like all happy, and it wasn't happy. When you're breaking ties with someone who's bad for you, I don't want to keep saying the word toxic, because like I'm embarrassed, because it's like toxic. But when you leave someone who is bad for you, whether it be a relationship, friend, even a parent, it is still heavy. It's still hard, because they matter to you. or even if they don't matter to you, at some point they did, you know? And that's really hard. I think it's completely okay to grieve over something toxic. 100%. Because it's a part of your life. And it's hard. It's really difficult, especially if you're the one calling the shots, because you don't know what's going to happen. You're like, oh my God, did I do the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? Like, what was I supposed to do? That's that. So that's kind of the basis of it. I think part of grief and part of healing is opening up and talking, and it's embarrassing. Sometimes I will talk about like a bad situation I was in to one of my friends, and she's like, this is embarrassing, like hearing you talk about it, like I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, yeah, like me either, I'm literally a clown. But talking and opening up about hard things is really helpful sometimes, because it's kind of like you're healing that part of you in a sense, and saying it out loud and talking about it, it's making it real. Look, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a spiritual healer, I'm not any of these things, but I feel like grieving about things and talking about it, that helps the process. It all helps the process. And in Adeline's video, she was kind of like hesitant to talk about it. And it was like, no, girl, like talk about it, because it's your story. You're allowed to talk about it. You make it what you want. Look, on my channel, I'm not going to sit here and bash people, because that's not what we do. Okay, we're going to support people and whatever they do in life. At the same time, I'm going to acknowledge the part you played in my story, if I so choose to. Or if I want to get a message out there, I'm going to share my experience. I'm not going to be specific. I'm going to try to be very vague, but I'm going to say, hey, you know, this, and this happened. I don't think it's bad to talk about things that have happened to you. Someone had commented on my last face mask like talk video about how like high school gossip shouldn't be the topic. Like if it's the topic of the conversation, then you haven't grown, and you know, growing comes from within. But I think it's okay to talk about things. And this is like no shade to the person that commented. Thank you so much for commenting, giving me feedback, and letting me know what I need to touch up on. So thank you for watching. If you're watching this one, hi. I do think that talking about things is very important. Even if it is high school and it seems mundane, it was important to your story. In my last video, the high school thing was just like an example. It wasn't my personal situation. It was just an example. But I do think it is important to talk about some things in high school, you know, to your friend. I'm not saying to everybody, to the whole world. But I think it's important to talk about stuff that you went through in high school and just the rest of your life, because it made you who you were, and you need to open up those wounds that you may not have acknowledged before. There's a lot of things that I went through in middle school and high school, and I kind of kept bottled in, and that was really dumb, because now I'm like, oh my God, I'm broken. Not broken, but like, oh my God, I feel all these things, and I feel like I can't talk to anybody about it because I'm not in high school anymore. But it's like those things that happen in middle school and high school, even elementary school, they had long-term effects on you and what you do and how you talk to people and everything. And I think people don't realize that enough. Yes, it's just high school. I hated high school, okay? Anytime someone even mentions high school, I'm like, but it was your world at some point. Therefore, whatever happened had a lot more impact than you think. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but grieving over toxic situations, a-okay, and talking about your situations, also a-okay. So I don't know who needed to hear this, but I hope you got the message loud and clear. But thank you guys so much for watching, supporting, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all of that good stuff. Make sure to follow me on my social media, because that's where you will literally hear first. Or turn that notification bell on. Thank you guys so much. Like literally, I can't stress it enough. All of my friends who share my content or text me about it, literally, you guys are angels, and I love you guys so much. So thank you guys so much. Literally have said that like 5 times in a row. I will see you in the next video. Bye.